Buckle up, because we're going to break down 5 key areas of what won't happen in platform in 2026 and why that matters for creators. First up, let's talk about everyone's favorite geopolitical football, TikTok. For what feels like years, we've been hearing about potential bans, forced sales, and a never-ending saga over its US ownership. And guess what won't happen in 2026? A clean resolution. This isn't just about government bureaucracy, it's about leverage. Experts like Michelle Weltz from Brain Lab suggest that this political theater isn't designed for a quick fix. See, both the US and Chinese governments benefit from keeping this ambiguity alive. For creators, this means that the days of anxiously waiting for a definitive answer are over. The new operating reality is that geopolitical ambiguity is a feature, not a bug. Smart creators will continue to diversify, explore new channels, and ensure that their strategies aren't solely dependent on TikTok, even as it continues to operate. This isn't just a temporary state, this is the new normal. So next, let's shift gears to Meta's answer to Twitter, or rather X, Threads. It launched with a bang, millions of users flocked to it, and many hoped it would finally fill the void left by the tumultuous X. But here's what won't happen in 2026. Threads will not see a major dose of ad revenue. Why? Because Threads is intentionally avoiding the very thing that made Twitter, and X, commercially valuable: cultural urgency. Twitter thrived on breaking news, political discourse, and the immediate reaction of journalists and thought leaders. Threads, according to Lauren Bierling of Collective Measures, is intentionally avoiding that energy, aiming instead to be a pleasant conversation app. While this might attract users looking for a calmer space, it doesn't attract the kind of immediate intent or urgency that generates huge ad revenue. Advertisers value platforms where conversations are happening now, where they can tap into real-time events, and by choosing to be a pleasant app over pressing one, Threads is effectively opting out of becoming a significant advertising track on its own right, remaining more of a nice add-on placement within Meta's larger advertising suite. So now let's talk about a platform that's been trying to break into the big leagues for years, Snapchat. 2025 was actually one of Snapchat's strongest years, hitting $1.5 billion in quarterly revenue by quarter 3. That sounds good, right? But here's what won't happen in 2026. Snap will not finally make a lot of money, at least not compared to its peers. So when you put that $1.5 billion next to Meta, YouTube, or TikTok, it's just a drop in the ocean. eMarketers estimates that Snap will only claim 2.1% of social ad spend in 2025. Colleen Fielder from Basis Technology points out that Snap's alternative revenue paths, like Bitmoji subscriptions, feel surface level. So while there's buzz around a combination or partnership with Perplexity AI, it's too early to call that a major revenue engine. So add that to the user age bans in Australia and an ongoing lawsuit in New York, and growth is complicated. A dramatic profitability jump next year seems unlikely. Snap will continue to be a player, but don't expect it to suddenly rival the giants in terms of ad revenue for creators. Now, for something that will happen, or rather something that won't stay won't, OpenAI will not avoid having ads in 2026. Everything points to this year being the year that they truly lean into advertising. It's no longer if OpenAI opens an ad business, it's when. CEO Sam Altman, head of applications Fiji Sumo, and recent hires like Chief of Revenue Officer Denise Dresser, they all signal in this direction. So as Robert Kurtz from Basis Technologies points out, platforms don't make these moves without intention. Even with the previous Code Red pauses to focus on product quality, the groundwork is clearly laid. Expect OpenAI to start testing ads in earnest next year, fundamentally changing its business model and introducing a new major player into the advertising ecosystem. Let's talk about another legal battle, but this time concerning Google's ad tech business. After Judge Brinkema sided with the DOJ that Google held illegal monopolies, and with the DOJ targeting its ad tech stack, many wondered if Google would be forced to spin off parts of its advertising arm. But here's what won't happen in 2026. Google will not spin off its ad tech business. While the ultimate outcome of this antitrust trial is expected next year, Google has made it clear it won't go down without a fight, offering alternative solutions to the DOJ's excessive proposals. They simply won't take a forced divestiture lying down. This doesn't mean that they'll win outright, but it strongly suggests that The drastic measure of spinning off their entire ad tech business won't be the immediate outcome of 2026. Expect continued legal wrangling and perhaps modified operations, but not a clean separation. So now a quick trip into AI. Let's talk about Perplexity, the AI search engine. Throughout 2025, it's been in the shop window, with Apple and Meta reportedly considering an acquisition of the company. And here's what won't happen in 2026. Perplexity will not end the year as an independent company. Perplexity has been strategically strengthening its product reach and revenue flow, partnering with major companies like Snap, PayPal, and Getty, improving publisher monetization, and releasing its own browser. Comet has made it incredibly attractive to investors or potential acquirers. It built itself up, made itself appealing, and now the expectation is that it will be acquired by a large entity looking to integrate its AI search capabilities. Oh, and I almost forgot a crucial counterpoint. While we're mostly talking about what won't happen, there is one area where a positive will emerge from this complex landscape. What won't happen for YouTube is for its renewed focus on live streaming to fail. In fact, live streaming will work for YouTube, and it will become one of its main points. With increasing worries about AI overtaking creators and content, live video bypasses those concerns entirely. As Natalie Silverstein from Collectively puts it, live is the most human format that we have. It's messy, unedited, impossible for AI to fake convincingly, at least for now. YouTube introduces features with long-term goals in mind, and the authenticity of live content coupled with brand safety measures will make it incredibly attractive to advertisers. So in a world increasingly saturated with polished, potentially AI-generated content, the raw human element of live streaming will be YouTube's triumph in 2026. So there you have it. 2026 isn't shaping up to be a year of dramatic industry overhauls, but rather a year where existing trends solidify, legal battles become long-term fixtures, and platforms find their long-term niches. So understanding these won't happens is just as important as predicting the will happens, because it helps us build more robust, resilient, and realistic strategies for the year ahead. So what do you think of these insights? Do you agree with what won't happen in 2026? Or do you have a different perspective? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more insights, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive.